Hello everyone, I am Priyanka Wilson and welcome to GS Score series of decoding the UPSC syllabus with macro detailing of topics. In this session, Prince Mishra sir will be dealing with the mapping and Indian physical geography of the syllabus. So guys, if you like this video, please share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon for regular updates. Thank you so much.
Hello students, in this session we will continue our discussion of micro detailing of GS geography topics. In last session we have completed the micro detailing of world physical geography, and in this session we will continue the discussion related to the India physical geography. Along with the India physical geography, I also have included the map. Now, before looking out the topics of India physical, let me tell you one very important point, because most of the questions in your prelims related to the India physicals are being asked in the form of map. So the map based questions will be of higher proportion from the India physical. That is why it is very important to prepare the map while preparing the India physical, and that is the reason why I have included the India map topics along with this India physical. Now, under the India physical, if you will go through with the UPSC syllabus, you will find in UPSC they are just broadly telling you what are the different topics you are supposed to study. So under the head of physical, social and economic geography, they are expecting you to study the India and the world. So Indian physical geography is part of your UPSC syllabus. So they have given you this particular topics in their syllabus. Also, along with this India physical, when you will go to the main syllabus, so in main syllabus you will find topics like geographical features and their location changes in critical geographical features, especially water bodies, ice caps and flora and fauna. So in a way, you are also supposed to study whatever the topics you will study related to the India physical in prelims. Related to those topics, you need to focus on location of that topics, whatever the topics we will look out, and along with that, you also need to focus on location changes. So if there are some phenomena, some features which are changing its location, so you need to know it, you need to learn it. Under the India physical broadly, what are the different topics that you are supposed to prepare? So first of all, you need to prepare the India as a location. Also, you can say India locational feature. So in this location, you will look out the different aspects of the India, latitude, longitudes, the boundary India is sharing with the countries with whom it is sharing the boundary, the countries, particularly the length of those boundaries. Also, what are the different other geographical features along with the Indian mainland boundary, be it your mountain, be it your particularly ocean, what are the different features we have that you will study. Then what are the different major latitudes, major parallels that is passing from the country, which of the area from where this is passing, what is the significance of that major latitude parallel lines that is passing from the Indian mainland. So all these you will study. Also, it is expected that you should study the different states of our country. Also, you should study the UTs of our country, its headquarters. So headquarters of states and UTs. Also, you need to look out the latitudinal position of that states, UTs, headquarters. Also look out the Indian standard timeline, from where this Indian standard timeline is passing. So all these you are supposed to study under the location. Now India as a subcontinent, why India is considered as subcontinent? What are some features? Because of that the India is considered as subcontinent. So that you will study. Along with that, the geopolitical significance of India as a geographical entity. Why India's particularly so much significance in this whole Asia's geopolitics. So that you need to study. Also the physiographic division. Physiographic division give you some idea about the physical features of our country. So physiographic division. Also, in the physiographic divisions, you will find that we need to study about the northern mountains, northern plains, peninsular plateau, coastal plains of India, islands. So when you will start looking out the first topic of our India physical, that is Physiography of India. So under the Physiography of India, you will first get familiarized with the India. India, not only the geographical entity, India as a particular country. So along with the geographical entity, you are also supposed to look out some of the political entities. You are also supposed to look out some of the political entities. Once you will do that, and along with that you will also look out the India as a subcontinent, geopolitical significance, then come to the physiographic division. Now physiographic division will give you a lot of idea about that particular places, because ultimately the main aim of this physiographic division is to sensitize a student who is not from the geography background about the places where you are living, the places where the people are living. Those places, it's a geological history. So what you will learn in the physiographic division? You will learn the geological history of that place, how it evolved, so evolution, what it is made up of, structure, what are the different topographic features it is have, vegetation of that place, drainage of that place, rivers, lakes, soils, what type of soil is present in that area, in that soil what are the different agricultural activities being done. So all these you will study under the physiographic division. Let's take an example. Let's suppose that you are from the Madhya Pradesh. Now Madhya Pradesh is a geographical entity, so the land mass over which you are living, how it came to existence, what the material of that land masses is made up of. So all these you will study. Along with that you will also study that what are the different, which soil is present in the Madhya Pradesh, which type of natural vegetation you will have, those natural vegetation is why, because of what reason, so the climatic features of that area. So all these primarily you will study in the different physiographic division. Based on mainly the geological structure, processes and stages, we have the different physiographic division of our country. So primarily we have the northern mountains. So in northern mountains we have the Himalayas mainly, then we have northern plains. So south of northern mountains you will find the northern plain, central part, which is also popularly known as Indo-Brahmaputra Gangetic plains. Then also you will have the peninsular plateau. Peninsular plateau is your southern part. Then you will have the coastal plains on both sides of the peninsular plateau, bordering with the oceans on the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. You will have the peninsular plateau, and along with that peninsular plateau, between the peninsula and the Arabian Sea and the peninsula and the Bay of Bengal, we have the coastal plain, that is coastal plain, western coastal plain and the eastern coastal plain. And finally, we have a lots of small island. So we have a large number of island, but out of that, mainly most of the islands is being grouped in two categories. So we have the Arabian Sea group of island and we have the Bay of Bengal group of island. Arabian Sea group of island primarily represented by the Lakshadweep, and the Bay of Bengal group of island primarily represented by the Andaman and Nicobar. So all these you will study. Now, as far as physiography of India is concerned, in this physiography of India primarily related to the geological structure and how it came into existence, like how the Himalayas have been formed, how northern plain have been formed, how the peninsula came into existence, how the peninsular land masses differs from the northern plain. So all these questions can be asked in the mains examination, and in prelims almost question can be asked from anywhere. So this is the topic from which you will get questions both in prelims as well as in mains. Like if you will go through one of the questions that has been asked just in last year 2021. So it was, why India considered as a subcontinent? So you must have listened, you must have come across with this term several times. But are you in a position to write 150 words on this? 150 word in the structured manner? So for that you need to have idea that what are the different features that you are going to write. So that you will study under the physiographic division. Also, differentiate the causes of landslide in the Himalayan region and the Western Ghat. Now the question is of landslide, but to differentiate the causes of landslide, you need to have a good idea about the physiographic reasons. You need to have idea about what are the different features associated with the Himalaya, what are the different features associated with the Western Ghats. Then only you will be able to answer these type of questions. So physiographic divisions, physiographic knowledge definitely gives you an overview of the whole India, and based on that you can solve the answers related to the not only physiography but also the drainage, but also the climate, but also the soil, vegetation type of questions. One more question. Which one of the following pairs of states of India indicates the easternmost and the westernmost state? So location of our country is very important. That knowledge is also very important. Now, moving to the next topic, the second most important topic of our India physical. In this second most topic, we will discuss about the drainage. Drainage, in a simple word, you can say it is the study of river. So study of rivers in our country, rivers and river system. So for that, first you need to know what is drainage. So what drainage is. Also you will get to know the drainage system. Also you will get to know the drainage pattern. Also you will get to know what is the catchment area. Also you will get to know the particularly what is river basin. What are the different sizes of river basins. So we have the major river, we have the medium river, we have the small river based on the river basin size. Then what are the main river system in India? So river systems are being divided in different bases. So on the different bases we have the different type of rivers, but the most common division is based on the source of the river. So based on the source of river we have the Himalayan river system and we have the peninsular river system. So knowledge of the Himalayan river system and peninsular river system. Now in Himalayan river system and peninsular river system, what are the main differences? How the Himalayan river system differs from the peninsular river system? So characteristic differences. Then what are the main rivers in the Himalayan river system? So we have primarily the Indus river system, we have the Ganga river system, we have the Brahmaputra river system. So study of all these rivers and its tributaries, its distributaries. So all these you will study under this particularly subhead. So the Himalayan river system, under Himalayan river system, Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, all these rivers and its tributaries. Now coming to the peninsular river system, when you will look out the peninsular river system, then you will find based on the physiography of the peninsula, most of the rivers in the peninsula is being mainly flowing in two directions. So the river system of the peninsula is divided in two major directions. One is east flowing river. So most of the rivers are flowing eastward. But also we have few of the rivers that are west flowing. So in peninsula we have both the river system, that is east flowing river and west flowing river. Now when you will look out the east flowing river system, what are the main rivers that are part of the east flowing river system? Under the east flowing river system you will find the main rivers, like you will have the Mahanadi river system, Mahanadi and its tributaries. Then you will also come across that we have the rivers like Godavari river system, Godavari and its tributaries. We have the Krishna river system, Krishna and its tributaries. We have Kaveri river system, Kaveri and its tributaries. So these are the main river systems that are flowing eastward. These are the river systems that are draining into the Bay of Bengal. But also we have some of the rivers that are particularly flowing in westward. So what are some of the westward river system? In westward river system you will find that we have a river like Periyar river system. You will have a river systems like Juari river system, Mandovi river system. Then mainly you will have two major rivers that are west flowing is Narmada River, Tapi River. Now Narmada and Tapi River, they are flowing westward not because of the particularly physiography. Mainly the physiographic orientation of the peninsula is from west to east. But still if the river is flowing in the westward, it is due to some reason. So here the reason, the cause is the rifting. So these two rivers, that is Narmada and Tapi, these are flowing westward in a rift valley. So in a rift valley, these two rivers are flowing. So all these you will have to study under the drainage. So these are the main topics that you are supposed to study in the drainage system. Other than this, also you need to study some of the recent, some of the very contemporary topics like interlinking of river. So interlinkages of river. So what is this concept of interlinkages of river that you need to study? Also you need to study that what are the major projects that we have initiated. So the major projects related to the interlinking of river. Now the major projects that has been initiated, obviously it has been initiated to fulfill certain objectives. So what benefit this interlinkage of river will serve? So benefits of interlinking of river. Along with that benefits, if might be interlinking will have certain disadvantages. So when you will look out the advantages, along with that advantages, you are also supposed to study the disadvantages. So along with the advantages of the interlinking of river, you are also supposed to study the disadvantages of interlinking of rivers. So these are the main topics that you will study in case of drainage river, and related to the river, primarily the topics like differentiate between the Himalayan and peninsular river system or the interlinking of river. These are the only topics from which the question will be asked in the mains. Otherwise, this whole drainage topic is mainly important for your prelims. And in prelims you will find regularly questions will be asked from the drainage, from the river. Like in last year, there was a question related to the different rivers which are part of the Panjnad. So in Panjnad, which of the river that is carrying the waters of all other rivers and draining into the Indus? This is a very recent question. The interlinking of rivers can provide viable solutions to the multidimensional interrelated problems of droughts, floods and interrupted navigation. Critically examine. So questions mainly have been framed in the backdrop of interlinking of river, but it is also covering some of the topics that are primarily part of climate. So it is also covering some of the topics of climates like floods, droughts. So it also covers the topics. Now one more question. Consider the following rivers: Vansdhara river, Indravati river, Pranhita river. So out of all the river, which are the tributaries of Godavari? So simple knowledge of river and its tributary, simple knowledge of river system will fetch you a particularly good mark. So mostly the map based question related to the rivers are being asked in this manner. Generally map based questions are river related map based question will appear to be very easy if you have already done it. So if you will be knowing that river and the tributaries, so question will appear to you very easy. But if you are not aware of that river, so obviously the same question will appears to be very difficult. Now moving to the next component of India physical, that is Indian climate. Climate is very important component of India physical, and most of the questions from the climates is being asked both in prelims and mains. As far as Indian climate is concerned, so broadly the whole Indian climate can be studied in two subheads. So one subhead is monsoon and the second subhead is seasons. So mainly the study of Indian climate you are supposed to do in two subhead, monsoons and the seasons. Now first of all you need to know the general features of Indian climate, and that is the factors which influence the variation of the temperature on the India. So factors which influence the climate of India. Then also monsoon. Now monsoon is simply the rainfall which happens in summer season. So what is the reason of that rainfall? So we'll try to find out some answers of this question, and that answers we will try to find out in the form of some of the concept theories. So the major monsoon related concept, major monsoon related theories, most of the theories of monsoon is being clubbed in two categories. So one is your classical concept of monsoon and the second one is your dynamic concept of monsoon. So classical and dynamic concept of monsoon. Classical concept of monsoon is simply given by the Halley. So that was the concept of Halley, classical or thermal concept of monsoon. In dynamic concept of monsoon, we have the air, particularly your ITCZ concept of monsoon, role of ITCZ, which is also sometimes referred as air mass concept of monsoon. Then also the jet stream, how the jet stream is affecting the monsoon. So ITCZ, jet stream. Then also we have the Tibetan jet. So role of Tibetan jet over the Indian monsoon. Then other than the Tibetan jet, we also have El Nino and La Nina phenomena. So role of El Nino and La Nina over Indian monsoon. Other than this, also you need to study Indian Ocean dipole. So Indian Ocean dipole. Also you are supposed to study the MJO, Madden-Julian oscillation. So all these you are supposed to study as part of monsoon and its related concept. Now monsoon is mainly associated with the rainfall. So along with it, also you are supposed to study the rainfall, distribution of rainfall. When you will study the rainfall, distribution of rainfall, you also supposed to study the floods in India, which are the flood prone area, where mostly flood occurs. Along with that, you will also need to study the droughts. Droughts you are supposed to study. Along with that droughts, you are also supposed to study the flash droughts. So droughts, flash droughts, you will study. Then coming to the second component of the climate, that is seasons. Now primarily we have the 4 seasons in our country. So we have the particularly cold and dry winter season, then we have warm and dry summer season, then we have warm and moist monsoon season, rainy season, and ultimately we have the retreating season. So we have 4 main seasons in our country. IMD classifies 4 main seasons. Now in all the seasons, what are the phenomena that is happening? So like in cold seasons, we have the cold wave conditions. So you need to study the cold wave. You also need to study what is this temperate cyclone, how this temperate cyclone develops, what is the reason why this temperate cyclone is coming in India, which is popularly known as western disturbances. Also coming to the next season, that is hot weather season. In hot weather season, you will find that we have the pre-monsoon rainfall. So why this pre-monsoon rainfall happens, not the monsoon? Then also you will come across the role of jet stream. Also you will study that in case of hot weather season, what is this heat wave? So the heat wave conditions, temperature will reaches almost 48, 49, 50 degrees Celsius in most part of the central India, specifically the places like Jaipur, Delhi. So interior part of the country, temperature will be very high. Coming to the southwest monsoon. So southwest monsoon, how the monsoon is occurring. Now this monsoonal rainfall in India is being channelized, is being done by the 2 main branches. So we have the Arabian Sea branch, we have the Bay of Bengal branch. Which of the places the monsoon will arrive first and how it will move, that is onset of monsoon. This onset of monsoon, how the rainfall is being distributed throughout the country, that we will study. Then you will have the retreating monsoon season. Retreating monsoon season is how this monsoon, particularly winds, how they are going back from the Indian mainland. So the monsoonal wind will retreat from the Indian mainland. Those places that were last to receive the monsoon, they will be the same places which will first experience the retreat. So this retreat will happen. While retreating, some of the retreating wind will, while crossing the Bay of Bengal, they will collect the moisture and they will bring the rainfall to the Tamil Nadu coast, to the Puducherry, to the Andhra coast in the form of winter monsoonal rainfall, which is also referred as northeastern monsoonal rainfall. So all these you will study under part of the Indian climate. Now how the questions are being asked in the Indian climate. So I have put up one question for your reference, like how far do you agree that the behavior of the Indian monsoon has been changing due to humanizing landscape? Discuss. So questions will be asked from the Indian monsoon. Regularly you will find the questions from the monsoon. But along with that, they will also try to incorporate some of the contemporary nature, some of the recent development in the monsoon. So not only the static part, you are also supposed to study some of the recent development of monsoon, that is what are the different mechanism of forecasting of monsoon, what is this monsoon mission, so that we will also study. Now, in prelims, how the questions is being asked, questions can be sometimes mixed up. Questions sometimes can be mixed up from the climate and some other area. That is why I have put up this question. Just go through it. Which one of the following national park has a climate? So primarily it is asking about the climate. It is checking your climatic classification knowledge that you have gained. That varies from tropical to subtropical to temperate and arctic. So how the particularly the climatic variation is being witnessed, like in Kanchenjunga, in Nanda Devi, in Neura Valley, in Namdhapa. So it is first of all checking your locational knowledge. It will check your map location and then knowledge of map location, and then you need to apply those particularly climatic knowledge in those locations to find out what type of climate is existing. So questions in prelims will not be straightforward. That was the main purpose, to just show you this question. So if you will go through all the topics, the subtopics that I have listed, definitely you will be in a position to answer questions like this also. Now, moving to the next component of our India physical, that is soils in India. It's a very important. Soils in India, because you already have studied the basics of the soil, you already have studied the factors of formation of the soil, the processes of formation of the soil. So here you are not supposed to study that. Here directly you can start with the classification of soil. So what are the different type of soil we have in India? So primarily we have 8 types of the soil, that is alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, then we have desert soil, then we have forest mountain soil, then we have mangrove soil, also we have alkaline and saline soil. Alkaline and saline soil. So these are the different type of soils you will study. You will study its a distribution, in which part of the country you will find alluvial soil, in which part of the country you will find black soil, red soil, and also how it has formed, how the black soil has been formed, how the red soil has been formed, why the black soil is black, why the color of the soil is black, why the color of the soil is red. So all these study you will find. You need to go through it. All right. Next, you will also supposed to study the soil texture. So along with that, you will also study the soil texture. Now the most important point other than the classification is problems of the soil. So soil problem is very important. Soil problem, why it is very important? Because soil is mainly used for the agricultural activity. India being an agricultural country, mainly our agriculture is the main economic activity. In that backdrop, soil holds very important place in our economic activity. If there will be any form of the degradation, any form of the problem that soil is facing, obviously it is not good for the country. That is why soil problem is very problematic, and the main problem that we are witnessing in the soil is the soil degradation and the soil erosion. So what are the different causes of soil degradation? What are the different causes of soil erosion that you are supposed to study? Also, you will study the topic like desertification. You are also supposed to not only highlight the problem, it is expected that you should go through with some of the solutions also. What can be done? So, soil conservation. What are the different methods of conservation we have? And in which area we are using those methods. So, methods of conservation, the different types of the conservation, and then the area where we are using. Now, coming to the soil related question, you will find in soil some of the contemporary topics like this issues of soil degradation, soil erosion, desertification, conservation. On this you will find regularly in the question in your mains examination. So questions from the soils you can expect both in mains as well as in prelims. Like the process of desertification does not have climatic boundaries. Justify with examples. So you need to not only just prepare the different type of soil and the static part, but also you need to look out this problem of soil degradation. Now, one question that has been asked in the prelims, in India, the problems of soil erosion is associated with which of the following? So, in prelims also, these topics can be asked. Terrace cultivation, deforestation, tropical climate. Now, moving to the next topic of the India physical, that is vegetation of India, that is natural vegetation. So, first of all, you need to know the what is the forest, what is natural vegetation, whether both are same or different. If difference, what is the difference between the forest and the natural vegetation? Then different types of natural vegetation. We have the moist vegetation, we have the dry vegetation, we have the montane vegetation, we have the mangrove vegetation. So different types of the vegetation. We have the forest, we have the grasslands. Then the forest cover in India. So what is the forest size of our India? In this forest cover, very important source will be India State of Forest Report. So India State of Forest Report that is being published by the Forest Survey of India, which is the department under the Environment, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It comes out with the biennial reports. So after every 2 years, it releases its report of the Forest Survey. So India State of Forest Survey report. In that forest survey, you also need to know what is the forest cover, what is forest area. So what is difference between the forest cover, what is difference between this forest cover and forest area, and why this difference, what are the different criteria to be qualified to be called as forest, what criteria Indian Forest Survey of Indian Department is using. So all these you need to study. Then problem of forest like deforestation, forest fire. So these are some of the problems of forest, deforestation, forest fire, and then the solution, that is forest conservation. What are the different methods of conservation of that? So all these you are supposed to study. Regularly questions are being asked from the natural vegetation also. Like, examine the status of forest resource of India and its resultant impact on climate change. So, questions generally they can ask you direct question related to the forest, but also they will mix up with the forest and the climate, forest and the physiography. Like in this question you will find they are touching up two very important areas. Now, in prelims also you can look out one question. In India, in which one of the following types of forest is teak a dominant tree species? So a straightforward question. The variety of tree that is prevalent in one of the natural vegetation, whether it is of tropical moist deciduous or tropical rainforest or tropical thorn or temperate forest with grassland. Now, coming to the last component, that is map. So when you will prepare when you have already prepared the physiography, the drainage, the particularly your climate, your soil, your natural vegetation. So it is expected that while preparing you will also prepare your map work. The best the best way to prepare map is to just prepare list of locations. Now, what are the different locations you are supposed to study? Because this map work is a very one area which troubles the students a lot, because they are not having the clarity that what are the different maps that they need to prepare. So as far as the India map is concerned, so as I said, first of all you need to prepare the state and UT, then that is location, then you need to prepare the rivers, then you need to prepare the lakes, ponds, canals. When you will have done all these, this you can move out to some of the natural reserves like national park, biodiversity, biosphere reserves. Then we have the wildlife sanctuary, Ramsar sites, wetland. Then we will have tiger reserves. Other than the tiger reserves, you are also supposed to prepare the mountains, passes, peaks, glaciers. So all these you need to prepare. Along with that, you also need to prepare some of the famous cities of India, industrial town, islands. So all these you are supposed to prepare. If you will prepare all these particularly locations, I am sure that you will never face any problem related to the India mapping, because almost every year you will find the questions are being asked from these topics. Along with that, you can also look out some of the human geography related topics, and those human geography related topics definitely we will do when we will do the micro detailing of the topics of human and economic geography. But as far as the India physical is concerned, these are the topics that you need to prepare. Now, how the questions is being asked, to just give you some feeling, to just give you some idea that if you will prepare, prepare along this micro listing, whether you will get the question or not. So just go through it. Consider the following statement. In India, the Himalayas are spread over 5 states only. Western Ghats are spread over 5 states only. Pulicat Lake is spread over the 2 states only. Which of the statements given above are correct? So purely knowledge of few locations. So they are asking about the physiography, they are asking about the mountain, they are asking about the lakes. Then the questions like, if you would travel by road from Kohima to Kottayam, what is the minimum number of states within India through which you can travel, including the origin and the destination? So they are just checking out your knowledge about where this Kohima is, where this Kottayam is, and how you will traverse it. Also, at one of the places in India, if you stand on the seashore and watch the sea, you will find that the sea water recedes from the shoreline a few kilometers and comes back to the shore twice a day. And you can actually walk on the sea floor when the water recedes. This unique phenomena is seen at. So they are checking your knowledge of location, and also they are checking the phenomena of tides. So they will mix up. Which one of the following is an artificial lake? So which one of the following is artificial lake? So you need to know the knowledge of lakes. Among the following cities, which one lies on a longitude closest to the Delhi? So we will have the Bangalore, Hyderabad, Nagpur, Pune. So purely the questions are being asked from the topics, from the micro topics that I have asked you to prepare. So if you will prepare along those topics, obviously you will get the questions. So that's it from my side for this India Physical. If you have any doubts, if you have any query related to that, you can reach me out. Thank you.